Hi, I'm Knut. I'm head of developer relations at Sanity IO, and there was a time in developer relations you would actually go places and visit conferences and stuff, and talk with people. And one of the first conferences I attended as a developer relations person was this conference in San Francisco called Jamstack Conf. And this was back in 2018, I think. That's almost 10 years ago, it feels like. And the host of this Jamstack Conf was, of course, Netlify. And there I met a lot of lovely Netlify people. And I'm so lucky to have some of them here today to talk about how they actually put kind of like event marketing onto the World Wide Web. And putting things on the World Wide Web is a thing that Netlify is kind of great at, I think. So I look forward to hearing more about what you have made and all the bits and pieces of that. But first, maybe Ashlynn, maybe you could tell us a bit about what goes into actually putting out an event at Netlify.
Sure, yeah. Thanks for having us. So I think I can probably start off by giving a little background on our previous workflow and what it takes to get an event live. We typically like to launch sites for events about 3 months before that event date. It depends on the scale of the event, of course, but that's kind of like our nice spot. And what we'll usually do to launch is what I call get up an event splash page. And it has all of the marketing info about an event. You can start your general registration promotions. It typically won't include things like speakers or a set agenda. All those details get fleshed out along the way. Like when you're planning an event, it's like a moving train. So in order to get that splash site live, we start with design and wireframes. And at this point, in time, we have a really good just kind of construct of what we like to go into an event site. So it's really just creating a unique look and feel for each event. So we'll do that in Figma, and then I'll actually go into the Figma and write out all of the copy in there. Then that gets passed over to our dev team. And by the way, our dev team is just Hugues and Zach, and our amazing Tegan, who's our project manager, is the glue of our team, really. But it's just the two of them, and they're not just managing my sites. I wish they were, but they have, I think, 16 other properties they're managing. So anyways, pass them over that. It gets built magically on their side, and boom, I have a page. But anytime I need to do a content update, I add speakers or a new sponsor logo or need a typo change, I have to then go into a GitHub issue, request changes. The Rev team has to triage those. So it's really a heavy process for us to get sites launched. And in terms of our event stack, we had that site build that I just explained, and then our main CTA on the page was a registration button that would bounce people to a third-party registration site. And then I was manually doing exports and imports into HubSpot and our events platform Hopin. So just remembering that workflow, not that fun, right, to build things. So December of last year, the web team started building out, scoping out their 2021, and they came up with this theme that was really about enablement. How do we enable the marketing team to create content, go live faster, more flexibility? And our marketing team has a lot of content creators. We have PR, comms, demand gen running campaigns, product marketers with solutions pages. So it was really about getting them the power, and Sanity was kind of at the core of that initiative. So somehow as the lucky first beneficiary, they built out an events template, and I'll let Hugues and Zach kind of get into how they built that and what's into it. But I'll tell you, the last couple of months, I feel like I have marketing superpowers over here.
That's super great to hear. And I think a lot of people can totally relate to this kind of process of getting something out when the tooling and the workflows aren't there. I shouldn't tell you this, but it was kind of like that when we put up this open house event thing. And next time we will probably have an event content set up as well. So yeah, but let's look into what you actually made. I think you brought along some Figma sketches or something.
Yeah, I can take over that if you want to share my screen. Yeah, so basically what we're building is kind of like an event site builder, right? For internal use only. So what we did first is we took a look at like different events that we do. Sometimes we have like big events like the Jamstack Conf. Sometimes it's like a bit smaller, like the Headless Commerce Summit. Sometimes it's even smaller with like internal or partners event. And we took a look at like all the requirements, right? So sometimes we have the hero, of course, but sometimes we have like sponsors logo. Sometimes we don't have sponsors. Sometimes we have the schedule. Sometimes the event is done and we don't have schedule. And sometimes after the event is done, we want like some video gallery and stuff like that. So we started to create all these pancakes. We call them pancakes, but it's just like sections that we can stack in different orders. So we started to take a look. So like, yeah, different heroes, great. Logo banner, great. Sometimes text with an image. Speakers, videos. Another way to display text. Some schedule. Sometimes the event is like multiple days. What do we do in that case? Event gallery. When we were in person, we would pay to get to these events. So we need ticket price, testimonials if the events was great, contact form, register form when we're ready to register to the event. So we have all these things that we need, and then so we want to start to try to build events, right? So if we have smaller events, we want to make sure that it works, right? So if we have smaller events, maybe there's one with like without the social stuff. Maybe there's no need for a gallery image. So we get this flexibility of like we can have a smaller events like this one, and then we can have like a really full-fledged events with everything that we need. So we came up with around 15 pancakes that we're going to reuse throughout our events. And one other thing that we need to create is great. If I show back before events, we have different events, different branding. They all have their own logo, their own branding and stuff. So we did a lot of work around colors. So I can show quickly like the color schemas, how it works. So we have light mode and dark mode if you want. And so this is like the default theme we have. So if you're like super quick event, maybe it's just internal, or maybe it's just with like a couple of partners, you don't want to choose anything, you don't want to customize, this is what you get if you want. And then with CSS variables, it's super easy to create like themes and increment the branding stuff and the colors. So you can choose like one color that will change the look of the site, and then you can choose, all right, maybe I want pink, but the button I want them blue. If you want to go really wild, you can pick the hero colors, and then you can as much as you want, you can specify colors for every sections, almost every piece of text that you want. Right now we have 22 colors that you can choose from, but it was really important to have like a good set of default. And then as maybe the event is bigger or as like a more personal branding, you can also create that. And yeah, so we can take a look at how it looks in Sanity if you want.
Yeah, I was just about to make a joke about web safe colors before I realized that we actually have millions that we can use. But you picked 22. I think that's probably wise.
Oh, it's not 22 colors. It's 22 settings that you can choose color from. But it's definitely something that we want to improve. There's a lot of things we want to improve. We would like to say maybe have warnings for like color accessibility if you're choosing like for example, in my example, like this is probably not awesome, the purple and yellow, but just for demo purposes. But would love to like have warnings and stuff like that. So yeah, this is how it looks in the backend. You create your events. There's like a couple of fields on top to choose like your date, your time. Like Ashlynn was saying earlier, you can also customize your call to action, because sometimes you want to register, but then when the event is done, maybe you want to watch like videos or stuff like that. And this is what, like, yeah, like the colors, like I was saying, if you want to pick colors. And the pancakes, kind of like the e-commerce demo earlier, you can add whatever you want in whatever order, and then you can customize them as much as you want, if your hero has a background image or not. Same thing with like videos, if you want to add more videos, and there's always a call to action that you can edit. Confirmation page, the text for that. Same thing with like SEO, if you have an OG image and some meta title and description. So you can create like as much event as you want, with as much flexibility, we hope, as you want. And I'll pass it to Zach to show how we can preview that in the browser.
Yeah, let me just first say that I love the term pancake for kind of like these layers. It feels very on brand for Netlify to use that word with the Jamstack and all. And yeah, I guess Ashlynn, when you kind of like were handed over this studio with these pancakes, as you told us, it kind of like unlocked some stuff. You could kind of like bring all of these events to market faster. And I kind of want to ask a rhetorical question, because how is it to edit it? Edit it. That's the worst phrase. Edit this content just as data. Is there something lacking?
Not much lacking. I mean, it's been a lot of flexibility, right? So on a day-to-day basis, if I'm like adding any type of content, or even just like structure of a page, like earlier today, I was kind of walking through one of the events pages, and I noticed like one pancake like had a different color background, and it just didn't quite fit in terms of flow. I literally just went in, moved the pancake up, and solved the problem. So it's really about like flexibility and being able to do that. And then on top of that, and I can kind of wrap up with showing you some examples a little bit later, but like we're able to go to market so much faster. It's not this crazy 2-3 week sprint process. We kind of get it up and running, and I'm able to just drive it home really quickly.
Yeah, and I was just trying to make this really subtle segue to preview, because of course when you move around pancakes, of course if you have looked at the Figma sketches as much as you probably have, you kind of like have this internal mental map of how everything is just fitting to place. But if you are employed as a new marketer at Netlify, you might not have this internal image, and this is where Zach comes in with the preview on Eleventy. And I know that this is something that a lot of people are kind of like super interested in learning more about.
Yeah, so I mean, the interesting thing, and if you can share my screen, is that we really wanted to tighten that feedback loop between editing inside of Sanity specifically and viewing what it will look like in a production setting. So inside of our Sanity CMS, we hit this little kebab menu here, and we can open up a new Sanity preview. And what this is actually doing behind the scenes is that it's running our entire production build inside of a Netlify serverless function. So everything that we can do on our website today, we can do inside of the Sanity preview. And you can see that it came up pretty quick. So any edits that we want to do, it's shown live right there inside of the Netlify Sanity preview, which is, I think, really cool, because you can do live edits and see how it will look in a production setting very quickly. And it really improves the confidence of the content editors, so that they know what it's going to look like when they hit that publish button. And just as sort of like a sneak peek preview, like exclusive to Sanity conference today, I put up like a little demo GitHub repo that y'all can go and check out and actually build something that uses this Eleventy cloud, as I'm calling it, system for your own Eleventy builds. So yeah, you can just go to github.com/eleventy/demo-eleventy-cloud. And I'll just kind of go real quickly through how it works. You can just use Eleventy as you normally would in a normal project. There's a Netlify function called cloud.js inside of the Netlify functions folder. Let me just bring that up. And it's about 60 lines of code. It's pretty small. And the biggest part here is this programmatic Eleventy call. So it just does a new Eleventy, passes in the template that you want to render, adds some global data for like the query parameters that you're setting, just for this demo project. And then down here, you'll probably recognize this just returns the content that's generated from Eleventy. So what this is doing, it's a new feature in Eleventy 1.0. It's like a pre-release where you can run Eleventy in a node script and it will return all of the generated content in a JSON object. So it's kind of a cool thing. And so here's just a demo of it running in production right now inside of Netlify. And here's the serverless function here, just an empty function log. And here's what it looks like when you run it. So I have a query parameter where I can put in any name here. And this is actually running on request Eleventy inside of a Netlify function. So it's kind of cool. You can do whatever you want here. But yeah, it's kind of neat. And so you can really go through the code. The repo is really pretty small, so I think it's pretty easy to follow. And you can build this yourself. And really, there's no fancy JavaScript happening here. It's just, if I view source on this page, it's just the HTML from the Eleventy build. So there's not much to it. And so you could pop that in an iframe or do whatever you want with it. So let's see here. So for example, let's get back to the thing that we built for our marketing CMS. We wanted, again, these live previews. So inside of the marketing CMS, we can go in and edit this. So we'll change our event and our production data to be to have the event cost a Bitcoin. I'm sure we'll get a lot of attendees there. And you can sort of see the CTA changed live there to show that it's no longer free and it costs a Bitcoin. And this is not in production. This is in production, but the data isn't deployed because it's just exclusive to this on-demand serverless function setting. So let's go back and discard those changes so we don't give Ashlynn a heart attack. And then we'll just refresh this page and it will go back to free. Hey. So yeah, it's just tightening the feedback loop between content editing and seeing what it'll look like in production. And we can do this with any template in our build. So yeah, it's kind of exciting that we can run programmatic Eleventy with whatever plugins you want, right? It's just it's a full Eleventy build. We use the Vue plugin to build our website, but really you could use whatever Eleventy supports to do this same style of thing. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
And how much does this feature cost?
Like I said, the demo is out there. If it costs 1 Bitcoin, no, I'm kidding. It's free. Yeah, you can just try it out. Check out this repo, learn how it's built, and you can build it yourself. You can build a demo of it yourself.
This is amazing, and this is a frequent question in the Sanity community between people who are building with Eleventy, which is more and more people who are. So I'm super stoked about this, and I see that the chat room is also super stoked about this. So thanks for sharing that. Yeah. And I guess Ashlynn, you mentioned that you had some examples to close this off, and this is also the section where you can totally plug whatever event you have coming up.
Nice little silver lining for me. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of show like what the output is. So we launched this in February, and it was like boom, boom, boom. We can go to market so quickly. Not sure if I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, there we go. So, I mean, like Hugues said, like total flexibility in what we can create. We have different pancakes for different events. Hooray! We can promote different things. These are past talks that'll bump out to the YouTube videos, past sponsors. Then you have like a partner event we just did. So yeah, just total flexibility in terms of design, layouts. If I needed to edit any of this, all there. So just really cool, and I'm super jazzed about using Sanity on a regular basis.
Super, super cool and inspiring, and also I love the designs in and of ourselves. The sites look super slick. I want to attend these events, and I guess the last website you had up that's later, right?
This one
that's coming up.
Migrating to the modern web. Yeah, we're hosting this. I believe it's next Wednesday. Would love to see everyone there. It's free to attend. We're just kind of be going over all the benefits and everything to migrating to a Jamstack architecture.
Super cool. And is there any future plans to kind of like evolve this setup and system, or is there feature requests and a backlog and stuff that you do want to talk about a bit?
I think Hugues and Zach definitely have some ideas in mind.
Yeah, like I said earlier, like growing more and more pancakes to give more flexibility. I think a lot of stuff around, we care a lot about accessibility at Netlify. So make sure that the flexibility doesn't come with like bad accessibility. So stuff around colors to make sure that like every choice you make is accessible, and font size and stuff like that. It's definitely top of mind for us.
Yeah, and I want to get as many pages onto the Sanity CMS as possible, so I don't have to do any more content updates. I think that will be awesome. Yeah, I mean, moving as much stuff into Sanity as we can, and then I feel like improving the user experience a little bit and getting side-by-side edits, so you don't have to go to a new window. I feel like would be another good small incremental improvement.
Yeah, the split pane iframe preview is super cool, and since you can write your own custom validation rules, you can totally also make an accessibility validator, and I look forward to hearing more about that at some point. So then it's just left for me to thank you so much for being here on stage in this virtual open office space that we have today, and hope you stick around a bit for the chat. There's a lot of praise there. So yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Yeah,
thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.